you doing? It's Dave Duford at Final Expense Agent Mentor at feagentmentor.com. Today's video is going to continue kind of the series of questions I've paneled from currently captive agents that have expressed interest in going independent, but perhaps have some reservations as to some of the fundamentals of what makes successful agents in the final expense business. So again, these series of videos serve as a way to help those agents who maybe feel trapped and are afraid of leaving something that is more or less a good deal, but are wondering really what it's like on the other side of the fence. Is it just as good? Is it just as safe and reliable? And so I find a lot of captive agents are interested in going independent, but they're just, again, they're fearful of what happens when they leave and if they'll be able to make it without their current situation. So the question I'm looking at down here that we're going to talk about today is do captive carriers really have better direct mail lead services? Now, this is one of the things I think that being in a large organization is useful for. People like Lincoln Heritage or Senior Life, captive carriers, generally speaking, are very good at generating leads. There's no doubt about it. It's not always the case. I've heard some situations where that's not necessarily true. But in many cases, one of the things that they bring to the table is because they do so much business and they own the mail house, they can mail out leads constantly. So that as an agent, wherever there's leads, you can buy them on the spot. You don't have to front the money. You buy them with your lead financing, and then you can go work them immediately. There's no doubt in my mind, as a final expense agency manager, as an agent, that is a great advantage. There's no doubt in my mind. The fact that you can get leads immediately is a huge reduction in some of the major concerns of being successful in this business, because all of us managers, captive or not, will say the leads are the differentiating factor of this business. Without leads, you were without a business. With leads, the odds are if you work them hard, you're going to do well. So why would one still, given the obvious benefits of having a connection with a carrier that produces a lot of leads, why would one want to leave? And why is that still an advantage? Well, I'll give you a couple of reasons to think about. The first is that when you go independent, the great thing is you're independent. You're a business owner. You are responsible and also free to run the business as you see fit. One of the things you get to control are your lead flow orders. Never do you have to anymore buy leads wherever they are, whether they're 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours away, whatever. You decide where to drop your direct mail leads. You want to do it in an area you like and you've had really good results. Hey, that's cool, man. Go ahead and drop mail there. You want to try out a new area? That's fantastic too. There's no reason now to drive halfway across the state to work leads, because that's just where they end up being. I've talked to a lot of agents that work in some semi-captive or captive situations, and their leads are 4 or 5 hours away. They got to buy a hotel reservation for a couple nights, work through the leads, and then go back home to their kids and wife. They don't like that, but that's just the way they're taught, and that's the way things are done. So, doing this on an independent basis puts you in the driver's seat. Not only do you get to direct the leads where you want them, the other advantage is the leads are fresh. This is a big advantage that not most captive carriers can provide. I'm of the persuasion, look, a direct mail lead is great, whether it's fresh or it's a couple months old. They're good leads. But the problem is, in this environment, as far as final expense sales goes, there's more of us now. There's more agents out there that are working leads, that are sending leads, and when someone's interested, they're going to send a lead or two back. And the first guy in the house is going to win. And my point is, if you work with these captives, a lot of the times their inventory is aging. With each passing day, they don't have a home. That's more opportunity for someone like me to come in before you do. Because the truth is, if the Lincoln guy gets in first, or the Senior Life guy gets in first, or whomever, they're still going to probably sell the deal unless the deal is just so unappealing financially. But if they get into it first, the deal's closed. So, the point is that you don't want to work leads that are aged naturally. And independent agents will tell you the freshness of their leads dictates a lot of the ability to make sales. Because we've all worked aged leads at one point or another, and we've all run into the same objection. I just bought something. I'm totally fine. I'm taken care of. It's very hard to get around that initially. Now, you can come back in 6 months, and some of that good feeling and vibe is worn off. But that's going to make a direct effect to your sales from the very first time that you go out in the field. So that's why I think it's a huge advantage, especially for a very successful captive agent, is if you buy your own leads and you get out there and work them, you're going to find you're going to sell a lot more of them than you would have if you were just buying the age leads at whatever were in inventory. The biggest downside to this approach is that with the captive organizations, you pay on demand. Very good benefit because it helps with cash flow. But as an independent agent, you're responsible for paying the leads yourself. And you got to front the money for about 4 to 5 weeks to buy your mail, because that's how long it takes for them to turn around. So look, if you're successful, or if you're marginally successful, if you've got a credit card, if you've got the ability to put together 3, 4, 5 grand, which you should if you want to really get seriously started in this business, that's not a big deal. It's just money invested, just like in any business, that you have to always keep tied up in leads to make sure that you're always seeing people and out there selling. That's the biggest downside, but for me, I think the upside outweighs it. You make more sales, not to mention you're independent, so you make more sales because of that. Plus, you're in the door first, so you make more sales there. And you get the full benefit of freedom and decision of where you want to work and when you want to work and what areas you want to work, whereas you don't get that when you're in captivity as an agent, and you're directed to go somewhere that's inconvenient and maybe way out there. So just some things to chew on, to think about. Leads are always important, and there's no doubt in my mind that captives do a great job. But there are advantages to the independent agent in many fronts, and I think the advantages in this case for sure definitely outweigh the advantages that the captive guy provides. My name is David Duford at Final Expense Agent Mentor at feagentmentor.com. Check my other videos out. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. And as always, thanks for watching my videos, and make sure you subscribe. Take care. Check it out. Bye.